Hi everyone, it's Holly here, and I'm back again this week. We're in a little bit different of a area in my house, but we're doing a bit different of a video. Why not change the scenery? Probably can't see what's on the fridge behind me, but it's my official Pilates instructor certificate for finishing the course. So I'm a certified Pilates instructor now, and I can teach. So I want to share my whole journey from starting this process to where I'm at now and what the next step is for me. I've gotten lots of questions along the way. I was also curious myself what this would even look like. Is it realistic? Will we get there? How much money are we putting in this? How much time are we putting in this? Is it worth it, basically? Just what actually is expected in the process. I have been compiling all of my data and I want to share it with you here. So whether you're a Pilates vet, new to Pilates, do something in a completely different field and want to change your field of interest, this video is for you. Pilates is for anyone. Let's start. First things first, a little bit about me. I went to university and worked in a field for years, like 10 years, basically. It's been a great stable job for that. I just, along the way, noticed that my happiness and fulfillment wasn't at the level I wanted it to be. And I wanted to achieve that through something that I can control, that I'm doing, not a source outside myself, so that I can have that for my whole life. Things can come and go, no problem. I've got myself. I'm also obviously an influencer, content creator, YouTuber. That is my passion. I've been doing that for maybe 7 years, quite a long time as well. And that is my true heart's passion. Like, that's what I meant here to do. So I have done that the whole time. So those two jobs basically I was doing. So what ended up happening is I ended up hurting myself. I hurt my foot. I broke my foot. Wasn't good. This is what happens in my life is I have to have something pretty extreme to have happen to make me make a change. I had wanted to become a Pilates instructor previously. I just kind of thought, there's no way, like I wish that would be a dream life. I would be so happy and no stress and wake up and just feel different. I just thought it wasn't realistic for me. Broken foot happens. I'm off work. I have so much time to myself, which I think is key. You really need that time in your head to really come to these conclusions as to what you want to do, where you want to be, all of that. That's what happened to me. Pilates instructing has always been something in the back of my mind, whether that's my intuition, whatever it is. I started doing mat Pilates through the Pilates class app during COVID when gym shut down and all of that. I don't know why I even started, I just for some reason did. So I was doing mat Pilates at home, fell in love with it. I was doing it more for my mood and to feel good, and my body completely transformed. If I could show you what I used to look like, you'd die, basically. So the byproduct of that is like the best fitness level I've ever had in my life from actually not doing that much. Like, I didn't do that much. So that's a whole nother video on why I love Pilates, and I'm going to start teaching Pilates videos here on my YouTube to have a whole Pilates section so I can share with you my love for Pilates and how I got fit, how to be your best self. That's always my goal, because I believe there's a million steps we can go up. We're going to be jumping around here in this video just because there's so many facets to it, but I meant for this to be a long video. You can come here and I can tell you everything that you'd ever want to know about becoming a Pilates instructor. So as I was healing and like getting closer to going back to my normal life, I just knew I had to make a change. So in the back of my mind, I knew I had wanted to become a Pilates instructor. I felt confident in Pilates. Reformer was new to me. Honestly, had only done a few classes of Reformer, I think at that point. Neu Pilates is the program that I took. And it belongs to, or it's like a sister company, I guess, of New Movement, with actual studio. So I made contacts I went to a Pilates studio and like got to know people. So I reached out to someone at my Pilates studio about becoming a Pilates instructor. They kind of put me into this course and I just jumped right in, basically. So it just kind of was meant to be. That's how I looked at it. And I had no clue what to expect. I just knew it was the right thing, and I knew I'd handle each little step as it come. I started this course at the beginning of December of 2024. It's now, as I'm filming this, November, I think it's the 17th. So basically this whole process from me stepping in to teach a class will probably be about 1 year, which isn't that bad, honestly. In my mind, I kind of thought it would end up being quicker from what I heard, but realistically doing it, I will tell you, and from other people I met along the way, 1 year is very reasonable. And overall, before I even get into the actual course I'm talking about, Neu Pilates is an amazing course. I have nothing but amazing things to say, and I do feel like they go over and beyond trying to help you. Whether they're working, you're gonna work for them, or you're across the country in a different country, they wanna see you do good. They feel so passionately about Pilates and wellness and what it can do for the body and for people. They truly have good hearts and want to see you do well, and that is something I always try to align with in every part of my life. So we'll start with that. I did mat and reformer because I love mat already. I just want to refine it. I wasn't at the moment thinking about teaching mat. I wanted to teach reformer because I thought it would be a fun challenge for me, and it's a little bit newer, so I feel a little more oomph about it, you know? I wanted to do both so that I could teach both depending on what I want to do with it. And I also wanted to make videos here on YouTube, so I thought, let's learn all we can so I can share that with people. I will put all the information with pricing down below and a link to go to the course that I took. Just know all that info will be down there if I don't say it clearly as I'm talking here, because I can't remember all the numbers. It's an investment for sure, especially when you're already working and you're already busy. I think it's like a few thousand basically upfront to start the course. And basically what you're doing is all book stuff. So these are my binders, which were my life. And this stage of the Pilates course is not that difficult, to be honest. So I was working very part-time. So I only work part-time in that original job now because I want to veer away from it. I want to be a Pilates instructor and content creator, influencer, YouTuber. Those are my passions, and I want to spend more time doing that. Lucky for me, I've stuck by it, and that's what I'm going to end up doing. So I was working part-time, but then I was also doing the influencing. So adding up, it probably honestly worked out to like almost full-time. So it is challenging to find time to do this. And I find to go over these Pilates courses, you definitely have to have a fresh mind. So it's not something I could really do much of at the end of the day. It really depended on how my day went, but I like to designate weekends, full day off to do this. Highly suggest that, otherwise the info will just go out of your head, especially if you don't have a background in anatomy. I have taken several anatomy courses in college. I needed to know it for my job, so luckily I knew a lot about bones and anatomy terms, directions, all of that. I didn't know really much about muscle. That was new to me, but it helped. At least I knew half. So anatomy is a huge, huge one. If you have a background in that, that will help you immensely in the testing. The binder I have here, you print out, you get the modules online, go to wherever you print things. It's a lot of printing. I'm an organized girl, but like I'm sure most people are when it comes to this as well. And you basically go through it like you would a college course, like a regular school course. There's anatomy, you go through it, go over all that stuff. Fascia is another big part of this course, which I feel so passionately about fascia now that I've learned about it and also had injuries myself. You'll learn about that. Neu Pilates focuses on fascia as part of their principles in Pilates, and I think it's amazing that they're doing that because a lot of people have no clue what fascia is. It's actually so important to be able to do Pilates better and to live better and not have injuries so frequently. That's something that was happening to me. I hurt both my shoulders, my foot. We've come full circle to where we are. And then how to teach, instructor's manual we have in here. This book aligns to when you sign up for the Neu Pilates, you have online modules to go through. So what I did was go through the online modules. Obviously is the same things kind of that's in here. It's like a reference guide. So I would have my book out while on my laptop watching the modules, just so I didn't miss anything and I was listening, and then I could see this, and I feel like it just kind of helps solidify the information a little bit better. So that's kind of what you end up doing. You end up ticking off all your steps, and then eventually you get to the end of it, at the end of your learning modules, and then you go into actually learning the exercises. Base, intermediate strength for mat and reformer, 3 sections of how they classify exercises. And then each exercise, for example, curl up we'll go with here. So you might be familiar with it. Say I'm familiar with this exercise, and then you kind of memorize. It tells you how many reps, it tells you modifications, it tells you the proper setup as you'd explain it to someone. So it's very good. I went through all of these. These are a little bit easier to do in the evenings. When you go through the course online, I believe they have videos of people kind of doing it and then getting you to practice it, which obviously takes some energy, so you plan that out. But that does help, moving and doing it in your body while you're learning. So that helped as well. So I carried on doing this through the winter, early spring. Let's say we're at March now. So I started it early December, January, February, March. So like a few months basically it took for the books to go through the information. I knew some of these exercises. I definitely didn't know all, especially the reformer. At the same time, I was heavily going to reformer classes to try to obviously just learn the exercises myself. So that's a commitment as well. I canceled my gym pass and just committed to reformer Pilates. That costs money. You know, it's $20 to $30 for a class. So that's something to think about. I didn't do tons. I did it like once a week or once every 10 days. Now we are at the end of my books. I went over all of it and it's like, you're done. Congratulations. And it's time for testing. This is the part that surprised me. I did not expect testing to go this way. If I'm being 100% honest with you, and I am, it was challenging. It was a lot more challenging than I thought it would be. Let me explain that process. So a lot of people that I met along the way, I should backtrack a little bit. In February, I was feeling, because I was going through these exercises, I was feeling a little bit lost, like, am I doing this right? Whole part of this is cueing other people to make sure they're doing it right. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm doing all of these right. I felt like I needed to do something in person with these teachers and get them to tell me, like, I need hands-on learning. They do offer in-person workshops, which I would recommend doing one. They cost, it's like $800, I think, for a full weekend, like 9 to 5. It's a lot of information and a lot of learning, and I probably wouldn't have gotten to this point without it. So I really do think it's useful. They go over mat and reformer, so much attention from these amazing teachers. And that's when I really started to learn how to teach on someone else. When you do it at home, it's really hard to transition into that without an in-person. If you live in a different place, I'm sure there might be Pilates studios that also offer that in-person training. You don't have to belong to the program to do it, I don't think. So that is something I would suggest if you can find a workshop in the city you live, in-person hands-on training in the midst of learning, like once you're done learning these mat or reformer Pilates, whichever one is like new to you. I found that so important. So that adds to the investment. Now we're basically at the end of March, I wanna say, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. I was going on a trip, I think to Texas, and I was like, when I'm back, we're gonna do testing, we're gonna finish up, and I'll be teaching by summer. That's not exactly how things went. I also didn't wanna do this whole program and add unnecessary stress to myself. I wanted to learn it and enjoy the process, so I was not in the business of rushing myself. Felt pretty good going in. So I did the mat. I actually didn't even know how many tests there were. I was shocked. Let me tell you how many tests there are. So the mat, there's a mat written, a reformer written. There's 2 mat practicals and 2 reformer practicals, which is very important. I didn't know that. Not that it really would change anything, but it is good to know what's expected of you. I met a lot of people along the way doing this program that not everyone takes the tests, whether that's for the place they just want to do it for fun, they have their own personal business, whatever the scenario may be. I will say, even though it was very hard to do all of this testing, and it does cost to do these tests, it costs additional money. I'll leave that cost down below. I would not know how to teach if it wasn't for the testing. I will tell you that much. That's the time I was forced to learn how to teach on other people. And now I feel like I could do it, not with my eyes closed, but I feel like it's within me, like it's so much more natural because of that. So I highly suggest doing the testing. That is kind of my main suggestion. It was like night and day. And even the instructor who marked my practicals between the mat and reformer was like, whoa, like we had a switch change. It's natural, you're a teacher. So I will suggest that. Even though it's a challenging process, there's no rush, we can get through it. So I was shocked by the mat written. I worked in healthcare, I went to university and had a job. I wrote a national exam That one took me like 3.5, 4 hours. This mat written was the same amount of time. It wasn't as quite as hard, obviously, as that other healthcare one, but it was challenging. And just sitting down and writing a test for that long, you have to obviously have the ability to do that. So beware of that. Not all of it's super hard. Again, it's mostly understanding anatomy and movement. And then the reformer written isn't quite as big. I think that one was like an hour and a half. But altogether, that's like 5 hours of testing, written testing. It's a lot. And the reformer is more situational. So the mat one was more anatomy and all of that, because you really do need to know that for both. And then the reformer was a lot of movement, cueing, red flags, all of that. Now I've done that. I think I did that when I got back from my trips, April, going into May. And then I'm like, okay, now we're gonna do practical. Did not know there would be 2 of each. So now I have 4 more tests to take. I'm like, obviously I'm not gonna be teaching by summer. This is gonna take longer, but that's okay. So I start with mat. You need to film and have a tripod set up, and you record yourself basically teaching a mat flow to someone is one of the videos. And the other video is you have a subject, you have a friend, someone who volunteers, and you go through saying all you know, basically fixing like their posture and their alignment and going through cues. You kind of speak to the camera a little more on that one. So you submit both of those, someone marks it. So I passed that, got through that. That actually was a little challenging for me. The marker had a lot of feedback for me, which was very helpful. I had a lot of work to do. It was like a couple months. It took me a while to jump. It basically the rest of the summer to really feel confident about reformer. And then once I started doing, I did the reformer, a video explaining. Again, it's like explaining to the camera what you're doing on someone, how you use cues, how you safely explain a setup of a reformer. And the second video is you teaching a flow of reformer in front of the video, and then you submit that and then you're done. So that's what I just did. I got this on September 23rd. So I'm so proud of myself. So I put my certificate on my fridge, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna take it down, because it was a lot of work, basically a year, and it took a lot of commitment and work. It wasn't the hardest thing in the world, but it's just, it is an investment. It's not the easiest thing. It's harder than I thought it would be, and probably harder than most people would think. And Pilates teachers gotta know their stuff. They really do, if they've done testing. That is my process to the end of my course with Neu Pilates. So now I'm at the stage, I'm actually doing more learning because I want to feel a bit more confident walking into teaching a class. I don't know what I even want to do with teaching. I'm just kind of going again with my intuition and just going and seeing how I feel. Got offered a job in the process of this. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'm going to start teaching. This will be great. I'm in no rush because I want to feel comfortable, and I obviously want to provide a good class. So I'm doing mentorship with 2 very experienced Pilates instructors. I'll probably end up teaching them, and that's a little scary, but they will give me the refined. It's more like now I need to learn the art of a class, like music, flow, what kind of vibe I'm gonna be giving, what cues I'm gonna be giving. Everyone's different. I've observed from going to other people's classes. Obviously, I will settle in and find the way I wanna be as a teacher. And the same for you. And I also have already sat in and observed a class. I suggest observing classes. It's different than when you take classes because you can really focus in on the teacher, how much they cue, how much they correct. You can't see that when you're actually doing the exercises yourself. So that's another little thing I want to do. I'll probably start teaching in December. So that's why I gave it that year timeline, because that's realistically how the timeline went. You get your certificate, and then you can start working. Apply for jobs, whatever you want to do. If you have a private setup that you want to do, you can do that. So that is my process. We did a lot of talking. Thank you for staying with me. This book, I went over these exercises so much. My suggestion is take things one day at a time, and the answers will kind of come to you. Don't worry about everything in the big picture. You'll have the answers. Lots of note taking. There's a lot of studying going on here. That is my journey to becoming a Pilates instructor. I enjoyed it so much. I'm so happy and proud I did it. I'm thrilled that I stuck to it and committed to it. And I have been wanting to make this video All along, once I got to the end, I wanted to share this with you and share all of that riveting information with you. My throat is actually sore from talking so much. I actually don't suggest doing anything different than what I did. I think, not saying I'm perfect, I just think I did the course exactly good, helpful way. Don't forget to like this video down below and subscribe to me here on YouTube at hall_ward. I post every single Thursday with brand new videos, and I will be creating obviously more of a Pilates section on my channel with videos like this and instructional videos, abs, arms, all of our target goals. We want to become our best self and prevent injuries, fascia. And don't forget to head over to Instagram and follow me at the same handle over there at hall_ward. I post lots of beauty and fashion over there. Noticed in the camera, this beautiful cherry Pilates set was my gift to myself for finishing the Pilates course from CSB. It is so stunning. I had my eye on it and I'm like, when I finish the course, I'm gonna buy myself this. And I did, and I'll get to wear it while I'm teaching. As always, I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time.